Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy 1 for the Nintendo Entertainment System played on the Wii Virtual Console. 4 seems to be the theme of this episode here, because our 4 heroes, Marty, Milo, Wimbley, and Fibbs, find themselves on the 4th basement floor of the Temple of the Fiends 2,000 years in the past, and there are 4 things that they must encounter here on this floor, including the 4th elemental fiend, Tiamat. But the first thing they want to encounter are these iron golems. They are the final random encounter in the game. They can only be encountered on this floor, and they only have a 1 in 64 chance of appearing, so it's pretty tough to fill out your bestiary. I got lucky and didn't have to farm for them at all. They just kind of popped up real quick, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, our resources are getting pretty thin, so it's a good thing that we don't have too much further to go in this dungeon. So, iron golems made of iron, so they have really high defense. They also have pretty high attack power, so we want to be throwing up those white shirts with Milo to give that invis 2 to help us dodge. I didn't take the black shirt off of Fibbs. I said I was going to. If you did take the black shirt off Fibbs, or your Fibbs, it's okay, you can use the Thor hammer to get some extra damage, but the iron golems don't have any weaknesses, so Lit 2, Ice 2, they're both going to basically deal the same amount, so. Speaking of magic, the iron golem has a special skill there, Toxic. Toxic gas, it can instantly knock out your character, but luckily our characters are protected from that with the Pro Ring, so. But other than that, not much else remarkable about the Iron Golem, other than, like I said, its rarity. But we got really lucky. So, Wimbley's getting lucky there with some good old critical hits. And he's getting close to his level up, level 32. Once we hit that level, he'll get another 2 attacks, 1 with each fist. And he'll be the most powerful damage-dealing character in the game, as I mentioned earlier. Even better than a knight with the best sword in the game, which is the second thing we want to encounter on this floor, and we're about to in this room right here. Final treasure chest in the game, the Mazmune. Let's see how good it is. So, 4897. Now let's equip that Mazmune on Marty, and his attack goes from 48 to 72 and 97 to 117. So 24 extra attack power and 20 more hit. So we'll get to see that sword in action when we run into an enemy group that allows us to level up. So we're only like a little less than 3,000 experience points away, so definitely get that level. And we'll get it right here with this battle here against the Wizard Vampire and his 6 crony vampires. So, the Wizard Vampire is going to take care of his cronies by giving them the A Fire buff, so now they're no longer weak against fire, but they're still weak against the Harm 2 spell, which Fibbs and Milo can cast freely thanks to their light axes. So Wimbley will take out the Wizard Vampire, Marty will swing his shiny new Mazmune sword. We'll get to see what that looks like in a little bit against the vampires, and then Fibbs and Milo will just keep swinging that light axe. So there goes one vampire, and there goes the Wizard Vampire. So pretty crazy to think that the vampire was once a boss back in the Earth Cave, back when we were just beginning our adventure for the most part. We hadn't defeated any of the 4 fiends. We'll use this turn for Fibbs to use a little bit of healing with the heal staff. Not going to do too much healing, but Milo can finish off these vampires with his light axe. Any little bit of healing, free healing we can get, take advantage of, because we've been burning through those heal potions. Don't have too many left. We got to make them last. So, there we go. Everyone's getting their level. Like I said, this was a really important level for Wimbley, because it gets him gets him to that 98 hit percentage. 96 was the magic number we wanted, so he's gonna get 2 more attacks, 1 with each fist. That'll help him cut through. Tiamat, who's in this hallway up here, and she, like the other fiends, has been buffed with 100 extra hit points, a few new spells and abilities, and the weaknesses taken away. So heal ourselves up here. And Tiamat is, like I said, the third thing we want to encounter. We have to encounter on this floor. And she guards the fourth thing that we need to encounter on this floor, the stairway down to the 5th floor. Luckily, the 5th floor, all that's on the 5th floor, is the final evil in the game, the big boss. There are no random encounters on the 5th floor, so that's really, really nice. Too bad we don't have something like Erdrick's armor from Dragon Quest that can restore hit points as we walk. But we're just going to have to rely on the remainder of our heal potions. So Tiamat will just fast Wimbley up, and we can have Fibbs and Milo use their Invis 2s to help dodge attacks. And just rely once again on Wimbley and his ninja moves to take out our enemies. Best pure offensive character in the game. It's interesting, there's that bug that the Master, the upgraded Black Belt class, actually has less magic defense, so the Black Belt is actually one class in the game that you do not want to class change. Unfortunately, if you class change, everybody class changes. You can't just choose to class change, you know, one or two of your characters. If you class change one, they all class change. Wimbley not losing out anything by not class changing. The others have lost a little bit, like spells that they can use and some equipment, but overall, it's they don't suffer as much as the Knight Ninja are going to suffer if they don't class change in my next playthrough of this game. So right beyond those doors is the final boss of the game. So we're gonna heal ourselves up, and I get really, really lucky. I managed to heal all my characters up to their max health with just the right amount of heal potions. So, yep, we use our last heal potion to bring Wimbley up to his max hit points. So, worked out perfectly. Couldn't have planned it better. So now all you have to do is let's check out the stats of all our characters so you can see what I'm working with here in this final battle. Since stats are kind of random, your stats may differ even if we have the same classes, but they'll kind of tend to be very similar. We'll switch out that black shirt now. We'll give Fibbs the pro cape, just give him a little bit more survivability, so a little bit more defense. So yeah, he won't be using the black shirt at all in this upcoming battle. He will be healing and throwing up Invis 2s. So, speaking of spells, let's check out the spells that our characters have. Milo is he'll be also throwing up Invis 2s with the white shirts. So who is the final boss? Let's step on through. Hey, it kind of looks like Garland, a beefed up Garland. And it actually is Garland, so let's talk with him. Remember me, Garland? You puny lot thought it had defeated me, but the four fiends sent me back 2,000 years into the past. From here, I sent the four fiends to the future. The fiends will send me back to here, and the time loop will go on. Notice the four elements are around in the corners there. After 2,000 years, I'll be forgotten, and the time loop will close, and I will live forever, and you shall meet your doom. And Garland has been reborn as Chaos. He has like all the power of the four elemental fiends. So you can see he uses their spells, Ice 3, Lit 3, Fire 3, and then Nuke. He also has some pretty dangerous skills. Crack is like an earthquake, instant knockout. Inferno is high damaging fire spell, and Swollen Tornado are non-elemental high damaging spells. One of the interesting things there about Chaos there, Garland, when we talked with him, every time we talked with him after we finished his dialogue, he moved back a step. That's because they wanted to have 3 lines of text to explain like his motives and what was going on, but he can only have 1 line of text per appearance, or 1 box of text per appearance. So what they basically did was like you talked with him, and then he despawned, respawned, so we can have a chance to use another text box. So that was pretty neat how they got around that programming limitation. So it's always interesting to see how older games, overcame, programming limitations such as, hardware of the console, or, graphical abilities or spaces on the console or the cartridge that they were using. So yeah, these games, they weren't like, they were on cartridges, not like on CDs or DVDs where you can have a lot of data. So sometimes they had a skimp, which is probably why, and sometimes some of the characters, like the 12 Sages, their dialogue didn't change. So, but our battle strategy here, if you've been following along, basically we had Marty fast, Wimbley, and then help with healing, Fibbs using healing and also throwing up Invis 2s, Milo being defensive and throwing up Invis 2s with the white shirt. So you can actually use the Bane Sword on Chaos, 1 in 256 chance of it happening, but you can always press your luck if you want to. But we don't have to worry about that because we have Wimbley and his powerful fists, his ninja moves, come through once again. And he's basically took off all of Chaos's 2,000 hit points there. You have to be pretty quick when taking out Chaos's hit points because, as you notice, one of his spells was Cure 4. So if the battle lasts long enough, he can go cast Cure 4 on himself, and that will restore all his hit points and undo all your damage. It's one of the big problems with like single character challenges. You have to always be making sure that you get strength so you can deal a lot of damage to defeat Chaos before he gets to that Cure 4 in his spell loop. Speaking of loops, we are breaking the time loop. We're about to get the ending here. The time loop is now broken. The 2,000-year-long battle is over. Peace prevails. I will explain my theories on the time loop in the next episode. Control of the 4 elements, the earth, the wind, the fire, and the water, again belongs to the earth. Yeah, I just don't really have enough time as I'm reading the ending here, so. Garland's hatred burned for 2,000 years. That hatred led the 4 powers to this world. So, yes, a bonus episode is coming. Chaos was created from those 4, and in that bonus episode I will be going through the Temple of Fiends here again, but with the level 50 characters, maxed out characters. Evil dominated the world and covered it in darkness. So, as you can see, our characters tear through the Temple of Fiends again. I will explain my theory on the time loop. But it is over now. Wrong has been set right. The Light Warriors are returning. As they travel in time, the world returns to normal. Sarah and Jane wait for them. Of course, Garland does too. And Jane is the name of the queen. They don't really say that in-game, but other outside materials give her name. But when did it ever happen? I'll explain my theory at least, like I said, in the next episode. Everything went mad in a day. The reason lies in the 2,000-year time loop. The 4 chose to become one force and fight against the 4 evil forces that set darkness upon the world. When the 4 return, it will be to their past. All signs of the battle with the forces will be erased. But the legend will live on, passed down by the dwarves, the elves, and the dragons. Passed on by peoples unsure where the story came from. And on my YouTube channel here. The Light Warriors return from their journey back in time 2,000 years. The memories stored deep in their hearts will protect the world. We hear lots of memories stored in our hearts of Marty Mouse, Milo, Wimbley, and Fibbs. Thanks to MartyMouseHouse.com, the happiest place on earth. Never forget the good and true. As I hope these Let's Plays do help us remember those nice pets that have passed on. Never turn the 4 powers to the dark side. and truth will always live in the hearts of the people. The warrior who broke the 2,000-year time loop is truly a light warrior. That warrior was you. And you were all warriors for accompanying Marty, Mouse, Milo, Wimbley, and Fibbs on this journey through Final Fantasy I. May the orbs always shine. And may you have great days as well in your future. So all my viewers out there, wishing you all the best. Now we get to see this neat little tracing here of the end. And it fills in. And while the screen will say the end, this is not the end of this playthrough. Like I said, we have a bonus episode coming up in which I'm going to go through the Temple of Fiends with maxed out characters, level 50, just to show how powerful those characters are at that maxed out level. I'll also be taking that time to explain my thoughts on the time loop and what I think is going on with it. A lot of people are a little bit, confused about the ending. There's still discussions on message boards like the Final Fantasy I message boards on GameFAQs.com. So I'm going to throw in my 2 cents. I hope you join me for that to check out one last hoorah with Marty Mouse, Milo, Wimbley, and Fibbs. And if you want to see some of their past adventures beyond here, go to MartyMouseHouse.com and look at the archives. They're really cute rats, and thanks Sarah for sharing their rats with us. Take care, have a good day, see you next episode. Bye.